Peace. What's good? This is your brother C Knowledge, aka Doodlebug from the world famous Diggable Planets.
Hey yo, this your man CHJ of Duck City. This your man in the cut of Duck City.
Hey yo, this is Ed Dav.
Yo, what up, what up? It's your boy Hells, yeah.
Rockin' Yellow in the building, and we turned up.
Yeah, it's your boy Neff Dallas, and I'm rocking with the Mixtape Show.
To the Mixtape Show.
Mixtape Show. Mixtape Show.
The Mixtape Show.
The Mixtape Show.
My main man, DJ Kawan.
DJ Kawan.
DJ Kawan.
With DJ Kawan, blessing him like the Holy Quran.
Fire Rock Zone, Kawan J.
Let's go!
All right, welcome back to the Mixtape Show. It is time for the Artist of the Week interview, and this week's Artist of the Week interview is brought to you by Art by Guilty Da Vinci and MJ's Hip Hop Connects. And on the line, man, we got one half of the duo M.A.D.E, and we got the brother Khan's not here, but we have Steve Sxaks here. What's going on, my brother? How are you?
Hey, bro, what's up, man? I'm great. No complaints.
No complaints. All right, man. So let's talk about the group M.A.D.E, man, real quick. You know, your partner in crime couldn't make it tonight, which is all good. So we'll speak on his behalf for him. So hopefully he'll like what he hears, man. Go ahead and talk about how you guys met, man. How did the group get together and stuff like that?
Well, I actually met Khan when he was 15. He's 23 now. So he came into my recording studio. I own a Marston House recording studio. And he had just been a fan of all the ciphers and everything we do on YouTube. So he just he booked his time and he walks in and he was just this little dorky kid. And I was like, look at this little kid. We were making fun of him a little bit. We thought he was going to be lame. He got in the booth and just tore it apart. So he was just it was like this. It was like a Tech 9 type deal. I was just like, who is this kid? So we actually started a record label just to put his music out.
Okay.
It was that impressive. So, we put out his first project, and then we kind of split apart for a couple years and re-linked up when I came down to Houston. I was working at this school called Workshop Houston.
Okay.
And it's a really dope program that kids can come in and, make music. And I was teaching the audio engineering and music production. So there were some, really dope kids who are rapping and making beats. So I flew Khan down, and we started having him doing music with the kids. And I was just like, here, he did 17 songs, a show, a cipher, a couple interviews, a music video in 4 days.
Wow.
He was just working. So I was just, when I got up to Philly, I had him come to the studio, and I just made a beat for him on the spot, and he wrote the bars, and it was just a magic moment, you know what I mean? It was just something that just felt perfect. And I'm kind of hard to work with as a producer. I'm real particular, and I'll tell you man, that's corny, you got to rewrite that or whatever. And he just knows how I am, and we just kind of feed off of each other. So we started doing that, put a couple more songs together, and then next thing you know, we came up with Make a Difference Every Day is the name, and just kept rocking with it. Now we're on the second project.
Nice. M.A.D.E, man. So prior to meeting him, you said you guys were doing cipher videos and cipher platforms. Was that what you said?
Yeah, actually, so Marston House, my studio, has the longest running cipher in the country.
Okay.
We've had a lot of underground dudes, Terminology's done them, and Wreath the Lost Cause, and a lot of those kind of dudes, Diabolic, and a lot of people from New York, Philly, the tri-state area, but we've had people come from Australia. We've had people come from Canada, Jamaica.
Okay.
It's just fun, man. I just love hip hop. So whatever we can do.
So working with your partner in rhyme, man, how's that experience been? I know you said you're difficult to deal with, but he kind of gets the format. How has it been challenges with working together at the beginning? Getting that chemistry?
Not really, honestly. Just kind of work, because I said, I've known him since he was 15, and he just he's a hard worker. He's hard-headed, so sometimes that's where the only clashes we'll have. If I think something's super corny, then maybe he'll try to defend it, and I'll just change it, and then usually it's for the better. And I mean, I'm not impossible, so if I'm wrong, sometimes give him a little leeway, but it's been pretty easy working together.
Yeah, man. Yeah, dope. So did you, when you do the production of the work, you do the total production, or you guys use outside producers as well?
No, I do 100% of the production, the recording, the engineering. So I make all the music, play all the instruments. It's a lot of live instruments, and then some sounds and samples. Like I use native instrument sound, like Complete Control and Machine and whatnot, and then I'll do a lot of live bass, live guitar. And then I do all the mixing, mastering, all that stuff. So
nice.
It's kind of like we're a two-man show. That's it.
Is that a lost art, man? In your opinion, do you think that's a lost art to have like the MC and the producer work together, as a unit?
I feel like it is. I love when I see it, but it's rare now. Like I'm trying to think of too many. I can't think of too many other active people doing it. But
yeah, it's kind of like the new thing is where you may have the one producer and he may work with multiple artists and do a project with them, but you rarely see, the Havoc and Prodigies of M.A.D.E or the P-Rock CL Smooth where they do multiple projects.
Exactly.
Yeah, man. So who did you study, man? Let's get into what you do, because you do a lot, man. So who did you study coming up? What were some of the things that gave you the bug?
Well, I've always been into music. I'm an entertainer, like just born bred entertainer. And when I was coming up at like 12 years old, I was really into like punk rock music and stuff like that. And when I'd buy vinyl, so when I was getting records, they would have those like purchase these other record sleeves in there. You know what I'm talking about?
Yeah.
I found like Jedi Mind Tricks and Sean Price and Sage Francis and all these like, Philly and New York guys that just were putting out these records. And I was just like so into music, I would order everything off of these, off these catalogs. And then, I get a Jedi Mind Tricks record or a Sean Price record, and I'm just blown away. So my first hip hop show actually was the Jesus Price tour, when Sean Price toured with Jedi, and it was at the Trocadero. I was like 15 years old. And I was just like, it blew my mind. I loved it. And I met Sean Price that night. I met Reef the Lost Cause, and they were just so dope and just so cool that it really just made me fall in love with hip hop. And then I just, went crazy and bought all sorts of records. But yeah, that's how I kind of got into it, man. Like people that I really were into forever have always been like Pharoah Monch, Sean Price, M.A.D.E, and then like Philly rappers. I especially love, I'm kind of a homer, so like Beanie Siegel, the Tough Crew, the Roots, all that kind of stuff. But yeah, man, it was like underground hip hop. I love that stuff.
Yeah, man. Philly's doing this thing right now, man, on the underground scene and the commercial scene. It seems like that.
Oh, yeah.
It's a lot more cats from Philly really, really coming out there now and earning those stripes right now.
Oh yeah, bro. Philly's crazy right now.
What about outside of the group? Have you worked with any notable artists that we may be familiar with?
Yeah, I mean, so our kind of like big thing that we did at first was I did some stuff with Kendrick Lamar and J-Rock. I got to mix one of their songs that DJ No Frills. I don't know if you're familiar with DJ No Frills from Philly. He did all the cuts on it with Microphone Tone, and Mike Trampy actually is who got us to do the mix on it for Hip Hop DX. Then we did Big Crit with Rich Quick. I've done like some Slain stuff. Beanie Siegel I've recorded, Freeway I've recorded. Just like a bunch of people like that. Like mainly like I'm audio engineer, so I do a lot of stuff, recording and mixing for people. But like as production goes, a lot of Philly people like Trey Digga, Marissa Joy. Like I do a lot of production for, I'm real particular with who I want to produce for, but I'll mix and master for anybody. I don't care.
Understandable. So let me ask you this, man, as a mixing and mastering, when you get that phone call and they say, it's like you said, Kendrick Lamar is for one of his projects, what's your reaction to that when you hear that?
I used to get real like excited about all that kind of stuff, and now it's just like I've done so much like just mixing and mastering, not even necessarily for any like just any name or anything. I just more like, okay, cool, I got consistent work. There, you know, that's what I'm thinking about. Like the well's not dried up yet. I got another couple dollars coming in. So that's my main thing, man. Like I'm not so much like hype on anybody like I used to be. You know, like once you've been doing it for, you know, we've been open coming up on 11 years. So it's like now everybody that I really looked up to, like coming up, I've recorded or I've met or I've been on tour with or I've done, you know, I mean, like had dinner with them or whatever. So now it's just like everybody else is just a bonus. I'm just happy to get the check.
Yeah. And it's kind of crazy. We'll get back to the music because I'm always intrigued by like the people behind the scenes that people really don't talk about, man. The engineers do they make a lot of these tracks wet, you know what I'm saying?
Oh, yeah.
As far as, and they don't get the credit for it or we don't even know that they do have the stuff that they do. You know what I'm saying? It's kind of like they're another producer of that track. They just, you know, a lot of people don't see it. And I was put onto it when I got to watch one of my partners record his album. And the engineer was in there just like a maestro, just kind of, you know, the things that you guys can hear that we may not hear in particular, and you can enhance that. That's definitely a lost art, man. I'm glad that you get like you said, the well hasn't dried up for you because that's a hard job to do. And it's like a thankless job, you know what I'm saying? Like a lot of people don't really think of the engineer as like, you know, one of the key contributors to a project.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah.
I mean, like I was the kind of guy who used to read all the notes on a record. So like I knew the engineers on a record, and that was exciting to me. And I knew I was opening a studio from when I turned like 14. I was like, I'm gonna open a recording studio. That was like my goal in life. So by the time I was 19, me and another guy, we got together and we went and got like a loan and all this other stuff, and we turned our garage into a studio. That was our first one.
Nice.
Now we have a 1,600 square foot spot that's like real nice with a full bar in it. And, you know, it just takes time, man. You just got to keep going at it. But.
Nice, man. I'm about to come check that out one time, man. I'm come check it out.
Hell yeah, right?
So let's talk about M.A.D.E, man. What does a M.A.D.E show look like? Have you guys done a lot of shows together over the years, or?
Yeah. Well, so earlier this year we put out our debut project. It was called New Dawn City, and we did a tour to support that. We went to Canada. My boy Suspect, who I've like toured with in the past, he brought us out there, and we had an awesome tour with him and M.A.D.E the Medicine and Kai Soul, and that was crazy, man. Canadians are so down with like just being great fans of shows. So that was sick. And we've like since then we've opened for like Ari the Rugged Man and High Res, Token, the Alcoholics. So we've just been hustling and doing as many shows as we can. It's just I DJ the show. I actually started DJing just for this project. Okay. But I never had done like any kind of turntablism before. It was just I was like, look, I want you rapping and I'm gonna DJ and I'll do all the drops and everything. So I started learning it. I bought turntables and everything just for this. So that's what the show looks like. It's me behind the wheels and him spitting, and then I do like some hype up stuff and some ad libs and whatnot. But
hey, I mean, you guys know the music better than anybody, right? Why not just do it all? That's one less person to pay on tour too.
Exactly.
Yeah, so it sounds like I said, it's dope that you're a student, man, and you're willing to pick up new things and expand your resume, man. That's definitely a dope thing, man. So you got this project out the way. You guys gonna work on a new album, or you just kind of pushing this one for right now?
So New Dawn City came out earlier this year, and since that dropped, we started working on this new one, and this one's called Light at the End. Okay. And we've dropped 3 singles off of it so far. I think MJ probably sent you the one. So this new one is going to drop in about a month. Okay. And it's such an insane jump from the first project. Yeah. Like the first one I think is great, but this one's just he's on another level. I felt like we were even more comfortable with each other. The first one we didn't want to have any features on, so it's just him. This one I got a couple people I was working with to put some features on, like the Bar Cross songs, 310 and Biz Mighty, and they're just both like some of the dopest in Philly too. So Yeah, man. Like I can't wait for everybody to hear this new record. That's really what it comes down to.
If you could put it in a category, what would you say the sound is of this project compared to the last one?
That's hard because the last one was definitely more of just like, like hip hop, pretty much straight through. This one, I was really experimenting a lot more. Like we have a song on there called Pad Thai that is like almost like he's just singing, which is a lot, very out of his wheelhouse. So that's what I like to do. I like to push him to do some new stuff.
Yeah.
So, yeah, it's hard to categorize. I mean, there's definitely some hip hop songs. I actually did cuts on this album, which I didn't do on the last one because I didn't know what the hell I was doing. So this one has some cuts. It has some harder drums. It has some, some more outrageous synths and a lot more live instruments than the last one did too. So I don't know, man. Maybe you can let me know what you think it sounds like. I'll send you the whole thing. You can let me know.
Okay, dope. I love. Hey, I love listening to music, man. So it's gonna be dope to hear that. What about So would you say with this being the second project that you're gonna start working on, the growth? What do you think the growth has been for you guys as a unit?
It's definitely been, immense growth. Like that it's like I said, we're working together a lot smoother. There's I know what he's bringing to the table. He knows what I'm going to bring to the table. And I think after the first one dropped and we got the tour, we've been doing all these shows, and that's really like propelled. The first project actually being considered for a Grammy right now.
Okay. Congratulations.
Thank you. So it's like that. All these cool things that have happened. We got 2 placements in movies from the first projects, and it's just kind of like brought us to this point where what can we reach next? Like we're always looking for the next level.
Yeah.
So it's like we're just working harder and pushing ourselves harder to just get to that next point.
There you go, man. That is so dope, bro. I'm congratulations, man. I love hearing people just winning, man. You know what I'm saying? And I'm all about that. So we definitely here on this platform, we definitely want to help support that. So we got the music, so we're gonna definitely for one load it on our radio streams, and then just keep spinning these records on the show, man. That's how we want to roll. We want to definitely help you guys out, man. So let me ask you this. For artists out there who may be interested in listening to this interview, do you guys take solicited, hey, man, let's work together kind of thing? Or are you more of, I'll look for you before you look for me?
I've always been under the very, strict thing that networking is super important. Sharing contacts is important. Like, people will come to me and ask me for somebody's number, and as long as it's cool with the other person, I love giving it. I love introducing rappers and producers. I love working with new people, because if we have this strong community, then we can all survive. We can all eat. Like, I never understood people being selfish with this kind of stuff, man. Like, we can all feed each other if we're working together. So if someone hits me up and they want to work, I'm ready to work. Like,
all right. So let's get out that email and social media. What's that contact info?
You can hit me and book us at steve@letsgoguy.com. That's letsgoguy.com. So just Steve at Let's Go Guy. And I'm Steve_Sxaks, which is SXAKS on everything. Okay. And he's Kohn, KOHN Music on Instagram and everything.
There we go, man. Definitely. Well, Steve, man, we definitely appreciate you. We got to get Kohn on next time, man. And, or maybe even link up together somehow, somewhere soon, man. Because I know you're not too far from me.
I'll come visit you, bro.
Yeah, I'll say you
a little bit.
Yeah, you're not too far from me. And then I go back to the East Coast to visit family all the time. So we could definitely meet somewhere in the middle soon, man.
Sounds good, brother.
Definitely, man. Well, definitely, man. So the project's out. We're going to help promote that, man. Anybody you want to shout out before we get up out of here?
Well, big shout out to MJ, obviously, for the connection. I appreciate MJ for all she does. Shout out to Kohn, who couldn't be here. Shout out to Rob from Who Mag and Sony Orchard for putting out all the music that we put out.
There we go.
And big shout out to everybody who's been supporting us, coming out to the shows. Nick and Joe White, the comedian, and Draco, everybody. So I just appreciate everybody.
Definitely. Before you
And
go,
shout out to you, bro, for having us on, man. I really
Nope.
appreciate it.
No problem. One thing I like to do too is I like to ask artists, man, if they had to, because we like to spread knowledge here too, man. If you can drop one jewel on up and coming artists, what would be that one jewel you would drop on them as far as the music industry and the business?
Ooh, man, I love these kind of questions, but I'd probably have to say have a plan.
Mm-hmm.
So we're very beyond the days of somebody being dope and just getting seen. Like this is the digital age. You got to come into it knowing, okay, you're going to have a quality recording, you're going to have quality production, you're going to have a quality mix, and then once you have that plan situated, you need to figure out your distribution plan. Are you doing just digital? You don't get paid off of all these free sites like SoundCloud and everything. How are you getting your music on Spotify, Tidal, Apple Music, Deezer, all these sites? Are you going to TuneCore? What's the difference between CD Baby and DistroKid? Do your research and make the plan. Find a PR person like MJ to get you connected with people like yourself and other blogs and hosts and everything. And yeah, then just like have a strong plan. It's not about a team. It's not about a label. It's not about any of that. It's about you yourself doing some research and making a quality plan.
There you go. Appreciate those jewels, brother. Appreciate those, man. Hopefully the listeners pay attention to that because we have a lot of artists who listen to the show. And I always like to try to find people who have experience in the game and willing to share a little bit here and there. I know some people are selfish with information, but I try to, like I said, we try to educate each other a little bit here and there. You know what I mean?
Absolutely.
Definitely, man. If you don't mind waiting offline after we get done, man, I got to drop some information to you. And we appreciate you being on, man. We got the homie Steve joining us. M.A.D.E, go check out that album. We're going to play a couple of joints off of there. Artist of the Week, man. And we definitely appreciate your time, brother. Thank you.
Yeah, all right, bro.
All right.
Thank you.
Thanks.